Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, another episode of LB Daps. Speaking about a lot of stuff, man. We've got transfer talk, Wirtz, Gibbs-White. We've got Villa preview. Is it a must win? Is it a must not lose? A load of stuff, man. Shout out to Daps, man. What are you saying, bro?
Well, I've just been getting it. Do you think I look like Dortmund Jurgen Klopp?
Can you go, can you say like something in a German accent?
Someone's telling me to do the fist pump. Yeah, it is good, yeah.
You do look like Dortmund, bro. You like Klopp.
It's either you can either have Dortmund Jurgen Klopp, right? And by the way, I've got no trim, so allow the trim. Or the hat starts off kind of like more like northern and that. Or I could do this, and then I'm calling myself Captain Daps Sparrow. Don't know which one we're go.
I don't know, man. I kind of rock the Klopp look, you know. Oh, go on, Klopp. What are you saying?
Norbert, call me Norbert.
It's not LB Daps anymore. It's LB Klopp stream. Nah, big up to you, man. Yeah, make sure you guys smash up the likes.
Call some journalists fat and that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Speak about the fact that he never wants to buy £100 million player, but then bid over 100 million for Caicedo. Yeah.
Well, walking contradiction. Well, but when we're talking walking contradictions with Klopp, we already know, yeah. He needed a break from management. Well, he needed a break, right? He was back in football within. He needed a break, right? He went and then said, "Nah, actually, I want to be a sporting director," right? Which is what he wanted to be at Liverpool, really and truly. And then, like now, he's offering himself out to Real Madrid. Like, bro, he was just bored of Liverpool, innit?
Well, yeah, that's you know what I found a bit funny about that situation is are the people that preach the most are the people that always go back on the word. So you look at Klopp, he was speaking like, you know, I don't like modern football, don't like this, blah blah blah, and then he goes and takes a job at Red Bull.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that he previously said like he's all against and that. You got Trent talking about, you know what I mean, it means more and all this, and now he's potentially leaving Liverpool on a free transfer. Interesting, isn't it? How people do that.
100%.
These preachers, man. But yeah, what are you saying anyway? What are you telling me?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Nervous as shit for today, though.
Are you in the camp of it's a must win, or are you saying it's a must not lose?
Well, last show we did? I told you, yeah. I wanted 4 points out of Everton and Villa.
Yeah.
And I thought we might draw with Villa, draw with Everton, beat Villa. This just confirms I'm a pessimist, yeah, because now I'm going, yeah, I think we might draw with Villa, even though we beat Everton. Do you know what? This morning, on my show this morning, right, I was saying to Hot Dash, who came on the channel, and I was saying to him that I'm nervous, and he started listing all Villa's qualities and saying, is this why you're nervous? I said, nah, I'm nervous. All of them are relevant, but I'm nervous because I don't know what fucking Pep's going to do. And that's why I'm nervous, because like, for me, we have to pin their wingers back. We have to pin them back, right? And the last time we came up against three at the back with wing backs, yeah, was United, and we didn't play wingers.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We tried to go through the middle, didn't we? And it didn't quite work.
And I just worries me that Pep might try and do that. Worries me that like we're going to see Bernardo on the wing. Worries me that Foden might start, and I don't want to see Foden starting. Like Foden off the bench, all for it. Yeah, I'm not saying Foden now. I'm not Foden now. I want to keep Foden, but I worry that we might start Foden. And I'm not going to lie, because I proper like look into things. I see this morning City put out a must-win game tonight, and then they put the picture of Rico, Bob, McAtee, Foden, and Nico, yeah? And I'm thinking, fucking hell. If we play them five, we're cooked. And I'm not saying Nico's not good on the left. I'm not saying McAtee, but to play 5 academy players tonight, please don't do that.
Yeah, that's a bit aggressive, isn't it? That is a bit aggressive. Nah, it's I don't know, man. There is a poll in the chat right now. I want to know what you guys are saying in the chat, whether you guys think this is a must-win game or a must-not lose. I fall into the count. I'm in the must-not lose. I personally don't think we need to win it to get top 5. Now, This doesn't mean, by the way, because I've already seen mutants on Twitter. When I say I'd take a point tonight, that doesn't mean I want to draw the game. I don't know why people think that's the case. Yeah. And try and engage your brain a little bit. Me saying I'd take a point does not mean I want to draw the game. It's saying I will take a point. I obviously want to win the fucking football match. I want to win every game, yeah? But if we draw tonight, the next 2 games are winnable games. Wolves and Southampton. That'll be 7 points out of our next 3. That'd put us, I think, on 64 or 65. Now, I think 66 points is what's needed. That means in the last 2 games of the season, we need 1 point out of the last 2 games of the season. So I think tonight, take a draw, win the next 2, and I think you're pretty much there.
Do you know what? A draw for me is a bad result for Villa. I mean, look, it's away at the Etihad, so I get it. But it's bad for Villa. For us, it's not as bad. Because like I said, I looked at the 2 games, the Everton Villa games, said 4 points from those 2 games, I'll take. Now, don't get me wrong. It's still more squeaky bum time. Like we win tonight, and all of a sudden I'm going, yeah, do you know what? We're going to get this Champions League football over the line, right? But because I still look at that Fulham game and worry about that a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out, Elliot says, hey lads, I'll actually start Bob and Doku tonight. What about putting O'Reilly in the middle with Nico? Yeah, I don't think tonight's the night for trying that though, Elliot. You know, I'm a big fan of the academy players. I'm 100%. I'm defo saying. Get O'Reilly in the side as much as possible. But tonight, the biggest, we can't be taking those risks.
Well, the biggest thing with that as well is if we put O'Reilly in the middle, who's going on the left? Vardiel, right?
Vardiel, Diaz, Cousinov, wasn't it?
At the moment, and if we think back end of the season, like when Pep thinks he's onto something, he sticks with it, doesn't he? And at the moment, I think our back 4. I don't know who he's going to play at right back. I probably would imagine it'll be Nunes.
He had a good game at the weekend.
Yeah, he did. I had Alan on Monday morning. I had Alan on Monday morning, right? And I said 2 players I want to single out from the game. I said the first one, Nico, who I knew he'd be happy with because he's a Manchester boy. I go the second one, and then I go, who do you think I'm going to say, Alan? And he goes, I go, who was our second best player? Who was our second best player at the weekend, Alan? And he couldn't answer it. I said, just answer the question. And he couldn't. He goes, I'm not going to answer it. He was okay. I go, all right, Nico O'Reilly. He goes, he was excellent. I said, so Nico O'Reilly was excellent, but Nunes was only okay. That's bias. Like he was good, genuinely.
Who is that, Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan hates Nunes.
He hates Nunes. I mean, look, I don't think Nunes is a world beater or nothing. But if a player has a good game, you have to say they had a good game. Nunes had a good game.
Yeah, you do have a good game. You definitely had a good game, man. Yeah, I'd stick. The back 4. I'd stick with the same back 4. You know, one thing that we have not had this year, right, throughout the whole team, but especially in defence, is a stable back 4. We now have a back 4 which looks semi-stable, right? Now, is it going to win us the league next year? Probably not. Do we still need a right back? Yeah. Could we do with a left back? Yeah. Of course we could. But right now, we have a back 4 in O'Reilly, Gvardiol, Diaz, and Nunes, which is competent at a fair level, right? Yeah. That's it. As good as it gets, right? Why would we start chopping and changing it now and changing it and putting blah, blah, blah in a game that we can't afford to lose? Do you know what I mean? Our defense is looking pretty solid. We're 6 games unbeaten. Nah, tonight, let's get a bit of consistency going in this side. Stick with the same back 4. Obviously, we can change it up in the midfield or the attack or whatever. Of course, we can. You know what I mean? We do need to improve there, but I wouldn't be changing the back line now. All season we've been crying out for some stability. Right backs have been changing left, right, and centre. We can't keep a centre back fit for more than 3 games. We've been playing Gvardiol left back the whole year. Now we've got O'Reilly there. He's doing really well. Why on earth would we start changing the back line? It doesn't make no sense to me.
No. Do you know what? I presume you saw the rumour, the epic fucking Cousinov and Pep rumour.
Oh, yeah.
Mint that. Did you have any people messaging you, asking you if it was true as well?
I seen it when I was doing the watch along. So I was doing the watch along, and just before the kickoff, like 20 minutes before kickoff, I seen it and I was like, yo, what the hell is this? I was reading it out. I was like, for a minute or two, I was like, yo, is this real? And then obviously, like, the chat was like, LB, fucking hell, come on, bro. And I was like, oh, yeah, shit. It's definitely not real. But for a minute, I was like, is this real?
But like, look, I know you're a Cousinov fan. I'm a Cousinov fan. Most of our fan base are Cousinov fans. But, right, I would love to see Kuzanov at right back. I would absolutely love to see Kuzanov at right back. From the minute we got him, in fact, when we were rumoured with him, I was saying I could see this as a potential long-term right back because of the fact that he's got that pace. Walker was leaving in January. I thought, yeah, he's coming in to cover Walker. But Pep ain't going to play him at right back, yeah? Do you know what? I hope he does, but I don't think he will, right? So, although I want to see Kuzanov, at the moment, I want our centre-back to be left as it is. I really just want that partnership to stay as it is because it's been good. Like, I think we've conceded 2 goals in, they've had 4 games together and I think they've conceded 2 goals. Yeah. Now, for us this season, that's pretty fucking mint. So, I want to see Kuzanov. I'd love to see him at right back, but I wouldn't change the centre-back partnership to bring him in at the moment. And I'm pretty certain Pep won.
Yeah, no, you got to get some consistency in there, man. Don't rule out Akanji. Yeah, maybe Akanji might come in at right back, but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't rush him back. I'd be really careful with him. You know, we got a big game against Forest next weekend, which I want Akanji fit for the Forest game next weekend. So for me, I think I don't think you need to start Akanji tonight. I'd leave him. I'd leave it until I'd leave it until next weekend.
Forest makes sense actually.
Yeah, because that's the last time. That's the last chance at a trophy, man. Yeah, big up Briggsy, man.
Yes, Briggsy.
I seen him on the Mancunian
Wembley. I presume you are.
Probably will be. What? Yeah, I seen him on the thing. Yo, big up to Luke. Says still baffles me how City can promote tonight being a massive game when they're charging 71 quid for a ticket. The protest at 71 quid. These guys, they got a clue, mate. They got a clue.
Mental. We did a show with
We are
1894. 71 quid's mad.
71 quid for a Tuesday night game against Villa, which means fucking nothing in terms of like a trophy. We're in a top 5 race.
Yeah.
Not like we're going for the title. Like, oh, you need to win because if you beat Aston Villa, then you're going to win the title or something. Nothing happens at the end of the season. We ain't getting a Premier League, man. This
is how they don't get it as well, yeah? That they can charge their mad prices to tourists, right? And by the way, just to be clear, when people say tourists, do you know what? I'm not going to talk for anyone else. I'm only going to talk for myself. For anyone that wonders what I mean by when I say tourist, I literally mean tourist, yeah? I don't mean City fans that aren't from Manchester. I'm not from Manchester, right? I mean tourists, yeah? Now, tourists, I'm not going to a Manchester City game on a Tuesday night because tourists ain't in Manchester on a Tuesday. They're in Manchester at the weekend. So them type of prices are insane. But this is the whole thing.
Wild. Yeah, it's wild. This is why I like City just so dumb, yeah. Because like I just don't get it, man. I don't understand why they're just who's making these decisions? You know what I mean? In fact, I think the lads from 1894 are coming on the channel tomorrow, so I'm going to get a chance to speak to them.
Sick.
So but I just feel like I feel like they take the piss. To be honest, is my opinion. These guys, make all these decisions. I feel like they're just laughing in people's faces.
And anyone in the chat or anyone that's watching this that has been around South Lower, in particular, blocks 114 through to 118, yeah. There are, and they described it last night, and I saw it. I've seen it a few times, but I really saw it at the derby. Right, they've got like these snatch squads that are in there looking to remove City fans to take their season ticket off of them.
So, bro, no career, isn't it?
Oh, it was mental. Like these groups of like not normal stewards. There were stewards with like masks on, like goggles, protecting their eyes and that, and they just kept rushing in, grabbing people and rushing them out. Yeah, they're looking to take season tickets off of game-going fans so they can sell them for them type of prices. But that's a different conversation. Leave that for tomorrow. There will be, obviously, anyone that doesn't know, there will be a silent demonstration tonight. I believe it's at either 6:30 or 7 outside the main entrance. So get down there and support that. Yeah, nervous for me tonight. And then let me ask you, De Bruyne, does he start for you?
Yeah, he starts for me.
He does.
I still think he's our best player, bro.
Bro, he looked tired against Everton, though, innit?
But the whole team was crap against Everton, to be fair.
I feel, I hear it. I do hear it, yeah.
If he doesn't play, who's creating? Who's creating?
Right. So, me personally, yeah, if because I believe we need a balance of experience and youth, right? We need that balance, yeah. Now, for me, I would go up top. Marmoush, Doku, Savio.
All right.
I wouldn't be mad if they put in Bob over Savio as well, by the way, but I don't know Bob's fitness, so I can't go with that until I see more. I would then in the middle play Nico, Kovacic, and Grealish.
Grealish ain't starting. Grealish ain't gonna start, bro. How many games has Grealish started in the last couple of months?
Bo, hold on. I said what I would do.
Oh, that's what you do if you use Klopp.
Not what Pep will do. Pep won't do that. There's no fucking chance he's doing that. What I would do.
Yeah. Now I'd start Nico G, Kovacic, KDB, Doku, Marmoush, Bob, guys. Oh, but LB, you don't like Doku. You love Savio. Oh, Savio. Oh, LB, you love Savio more than Doku. Shut up, man. Yeah, I don't have none of these agendas. Yeah, I say my opinion in it. My opinion is, tonight I would set up Doku on the left and I'd go Bob on the right.
Wait, does my mic sound better now, by the way?
Ooh, that's a crisp upgrade, yeah.
Yeah, Bob, sorry. I've had this in front of me the whole time and it's going through my laptop or something. There we go.
LB is cast, by the way. I'm clipping that.
Yeah, you just been clipped for that Savio bit, by the way.
Yeah. No, I start Bob on the right. I drop Savio. I play Doku on the left.
Play Bob. See, I must admit, I'll be honest with you, yeah. At the moment, I'm Team Doku over Team Savio, you know.
No, like I think Savio's a better player, but for the purposes of tonight's football match, I think Doku would be better on the left-hand side, and I play Bob on the right.
I don't know. Like I said, I'd play Grealish. I'd play them three up. I'd play very similar to the Leicester game. A very similar lineup to the Leicester game. Me personally, I'd rest De Bruyne for the semi-final.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't get me. He's got a week off.
And then know that we can bring De Bruyne off the bench as well. Because we
know this is the team you play against Leicester, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd replace Gundogan with Kovacic probably. The other option I would do is maybe replace Grealish. Right, put Gundogan where Grealish is. Now I'd go with that, you know, but I'd replace Gundogan with Kovacic.
Is it not just if you're gonna not play De Bruyne, mate? You're gonna just start Foden.
Nah, bro, I ain't starting Foden. Nah. Bob, again, Foden I ain't mad at Foden coming on off the bench, but at the moment, I just think every time we play Foden and he doesn't impact the game and then we sub him off, it's knocking his confidence even more.
Yeah.
He's not in the right place, man. I wouldn't start Foden at the moment. Not me personally. I do hear why you need De Bruyne, though, because you need De Bruyne probably for a bit of experience as well. Definitely is. I do hear the De Bruyne thing. I just worry that maybe he might be a little bit leggy against a very energetic midfield.
Yeah. No, it's a shot. I mean, I don't know what you do. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what you do there. But yeah, my front three would be Doku, Marmoush, and Bob. I don't think Bob's going to start again. That's what I did, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Do you reckon Foden might start in that front three?
Yeah, he might do. I don't know. You can't keep him out the team forever.
You can keep him out of the team for the rest of the season or until Champions League football's safe.
I mean, yeah, you could do, but I don't know, man. I don't know what you do there with what about McAtee? Well, McAtee, I was surprised McAtee didn't start against Everton. I thought he deserved to start.
Yeah.
I thought he deserved to start. Another one that probably deserves to start, McAtee. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tricky. Hey, what do you make of these Gibbs-White rumors? Have you heard anything on it from your sources or anything? No.
Well, from what I'm seeing, it's pretty. It's up in a lot of pace and whatever. I think the English quota thing's a big deal on it, man. I think the English quota is a massive deal on it.
Do you think we wouldn't sign him then if he wasn't English?
We certainly wouldn't be paying that fucking much for him. Like, and it's definitely a 10. It's definitely in an 8 role. It can't be in the 10 role. Like, I've seen your tweets. I think we're both pretty confident in getting Wirtz now.
I'm confident. I'm going to do a full stream next week on it. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good on Wirtz. I think the news that come out of the last couple of days is quite positive. The Pep phone call, the Bayern Munich saying now apparently they maybe not feel like they're confident. They've now been linked with Xavi Simons. Apparently Wirtz is more open to it. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit more confident on Florian Wirtz now. Still not 100%. And I'll wait to see a little bit more information drop, which I think we'll get over the next course next week. But
do you think Champions football is the key for it as well?
Well, there was a post that was made by, I think it was Florian Plettenberg last week, and he said Wirtz is waiting on the results before making his decision. Now, when you think about that, what does that actually mean? Bayern Munich are out the Champions League, and they basically won the league. Is he going to join Bayern if they don't win the league or do win the league? No, that's not going to make his decision. Real Madrid are out the Champions League. Yeah, I think, is he going to put these are both qualified Champions League next year.
Yeah.
Is he going to join Real Madrid only if they don't win the league, or only do if the only team out of the 3 teams that are interested in Florian Wirtz, where results make a material difference to what's going to be happening next season, is Manchester City, because we are not guaranteed Champions League football. The other 2 teams are. So what if? So why did he put that in his post then? Why did he put that in his post? It makes no sense.
For me, when people say, "Oh, I think he'd be fine with not being in the Champions League," I don't think he would be fine with that.
Well, I previously said that I think that I didn't say fine, but I said I don't think it would have a massive impact on his decision. But maybe it is. Maybe it will have a massive decision. You know, otherwise, why did Florian Plettenberg put that in his tweet?
Well, that's why I think tonight's such a big game. Yeah, that it's not even. It's not just about like us getting Champions League football so that we are in the Champions League next season. For me, getting Champions League football is about the future of City. That I think I think a season out of the Champions League while we're trying to rebuild could really impact us, because it will change the level of players we go for, right? It will have to. So I think we have to get Champions League football to help this rebuild. Like, do you know what I mean? If you don't need to rebuild and you just have a season out, that's fine. But if you're trying to attract a certain quality of players, you can only do that with Champions League football, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that is fast. Perfecto says if we get Xavi Simons, not Wirtz and Villar.
Yeah, I don't like. Do you like Simons?
Bro, I'll be honest with you. I don't even think I've really ever seen the guy play.
Never really seen him look angry all the time. He's just always angry.
I've seen his goal highlights, which, you know, the guy can clearly finish, but I've not really seen him play properly. Well, Wirtz, I've seen Wirtz play football multiple times, and I think for Germany and for Leverkusen, and I think he's class. Yeah, but the thing is, Simons played for Leipzig. Ain't ever watching Leipzig, and he plays for Netherlands. Ain't ever watching Netherlands. I watch Germany now and again. Yeah, and I watch Leverkusen now and again.
I don't think he's comparable to Wirtz for me.
No, he's not comparable to Wirtz. He's nothing like this. I don't think he's anything like Wirtz. You know what I mean? And that's why I think, you know, we were speaking about it last night on the show, but I think that's why some of our, we're getting a little bit stressed, because if we don't land Wirtz, here's a question for you, because this is what I'd do, right? If Wirtz turns around and says, no, I don't want you, City, and City say, is there anything we can do? More money, anything? He's like, I just don't want to join you. I want to go buy, and I want to do. What do you do in that situation? Because I tell you what I do, yeah? I pick up the fucking phone to Kevin De Bruyne. I said, how about one more year, Remontada, 400 grand a week, and then next year I go and activate the release clause of Jamal Musiala. Because he's got a release clause in his contract next year.
I thought Musiala signed a new contract.
Yeah, with a release clause.
Oh, fucking hell.
He's got a release clause, 140 million euros. It's about 120 million quid.
See, I want Wirtz over Musiala as well.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is, if Wirtz says no, what do you do then if he says no?
I can't lie. I like Turkey, and I don't like saying it.
Well, you could get Turkey and then go and get Musiala next year. You can have
maybe I'd do that. I hear what you're saying there, but again, De Bruyne, bro, for me, it's I don't want to keep De Bruyne.
You really don't want to keep him now. He really didn't want to leave, innit?
Yeah, I hear it.
I'm game for the Cherky thing. If Wirtz says no, go and drop 30 million. Go and get me Cherky. You've got Foden, Cherky, Etcher, Messi. Next year, you go and buy Musiala on a release clause. I'd be happy with that. Obviously, it's not ideal. I'd rather have Wirtz now. But as a 1 year, okay, you don't get everything in life. Like, yeah, I'll probably take that. I know it's not ideal, but like, what can you do if the guy says no?
Do you know what? Actually, maybe I would keep De Bruyne, because if we weren't having to go and fork out, because I think the reason City aren't keeping De Bruyne ultimately is they don't want to pay him 400 bags a week, right? I don't think they can pay him 400 bags a week. So, no. Maybe I would keep him. I've seen people say, oh, we should offer De Bruyne less. But I feel like if we offer De Bruyne less, we're then putting him in an awkward position, as in, right, do I stay at the club that I love and get paid a lot less than I can for the final few years?
Kevin De Bruyne's only staying he's not staying, so this is never going to happen. Yeah. But Kevin De Bruyne was only ever going to stay at Manchester City if his wage was the same.
Exactly. Whereas I had people saying to me, oh no, we should offer him, he wants to stay. If we offered him 200 grand, he'd stay. And I'm thinking,
nah, I don't think he does, man.
No, I don't think he does. Do you know what? The one thing I would say is I don't think the club's if what Kev's saying is right, I don't think the club's handled it well. Like a player like that deserves but we don't know if we can believe what he's saying or not.
You don't know. I don't fully believe the cutthroat way that he's described it. I personally think they've had a number of informal discussions throughout the year. I think in the meetings, them informal discussions, Kev's made it clear that he wants to stay, but he wants 400 grand a week. City have probably floated the idea of, how about we keep you but on 150k a week? He's probably said, I could go Saudi and get 5 times that tax-free, or MLS, get 3 times that. Yeah. And City have then just had to think about it, pulled him into the office and said, listen, we can't do a deal here. Business
That's what I think personally.
And he's just gone, what?
It's one of them ones where, like, people say, oh, you know, Cole Palmer's come out and said he never wanted to go. I'm friends with some of his close friends, and they told me like 4 or 5 months before he left that he wanted to leave, that he wanted to go Dortmund, right? He wanted to go Germany. So when you hear players say things sometimes, I think you're saying this with an agenda. Like, and by the way, I'm not trying to slander Kev at all, but you have to take it with a pin. I don't believe that City literally have had no conversation with De Bruyne for months and then just called him in one day and gone, by the way, we don't want you no more. Like,
no way. No way. And if that has happened, then fair fucks, that's a joke.
Yeah,
but I do not believe that's happened for one little second.
No. Do you know what? I think people like Pep would, I think if Pep heard that happen, I think Pep would be going, do you know what? It's time for me to go as well, because you can't treat players like that. I don't believe that happened. But Bernardo, what are you saying on Bernardo as well?
I'd let him leave.
Well, it looks like he is, isn't it?
Yeah. Out of him, Gundogan and Kovacic, he's the one that I'd leave first. I'd get rid of first. One, I'll tell you reasons. One, you'd actually get some money from him. Even if it's just 20-25 million. This summer's going to be a mad spending summer. We just spent 175, so the 20-25 million will come in handy. And two, I just think out of the three, he's the worst now.
It's mad, isn't it?
I'd move him on. Yeah, I just struggle to watch him sometimes now, man. I feel like he's always passing backwards. He never actually does any through balls, shoots, anything that.
He's missing your boy. He's missing Mahrez mad amounts. You can tell.
Yeah,
him and Mahrez used to link up nice, but
I'd just move him on, man. I think Kovacic still has something to offer as like a fourth,
100%,
as a fourth choice, fifth choice player, and. You know, Gundogan's by the by. Like, I'm not asked about Gundogan. He's 35 years old. Like, so long as he's not playing a lot of games next year, if he wants to hang around the squad or whatever, chill. But like, this guy can only be coming on for the last 10 minutes in like dead games. Like, you know, and that's not because he's shit. It's because he's nearly 35 years old. I have to keep saying this all the time.
Do you know what you have to remember with Gundogan as well is that Gundogan had at very least two fuck-off injuries. Right, as well.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. And Bernardo, I'm one of Bernardo's biggest fans. If I was to show you my preferred 11s this season, I was proper trying to get Bernardo in, most of them. But recently, I've been really paying attention and watching him. And it's sad, but I agree with you that of all of them, it's like it's just gone for Bernardo. It's just completely gone now. And Kovacic offers a lot more for me. And yeah, Gundogan, do you know what Gundogan recently has as well? But also with Gundogan as well, you got to remember Gundogan was our treble-winning captain, right? And Gundogan, I think already, Gundogan's retired from international football. There's another key thing, yeah? So Gundogan, I think, knows himself. I think Gundogan, you know what? Let's be real with ourselves. Gundogan joined us last summer, knowing thinking he was going to be a bit part player, yeah? So Gundogan next season will have no issues with being a leader in the dressing room and, you know, just vibes. Whereas I don't know if Bernardo won't be that guy. Like, Bernardo still wants to play. You know how you know that? Remember the interview where someone said, where he started, like, pushing back on the person interview, on the journalist saying, well, tell me what players are too old. Tell me what players.
Yeah.
So you know that he doesn't think he's too old yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. And you've also got to think about the wage as well. He's on 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
And this has to be factored into the club. Now, I know I always say I don't care about money, and I really don't, but ultimately money is now part of the game, and you've got to take that into consideration about who you keep when it's all the PSR stuff and that. And like, you got to look at that and say, Kovacic is on what? 120, 130? Yeah. Gundogan's on 150, 170. Bernardo's on 300. Who's providing you value for money there?
Yeah. And even more so, the fact that, like you said, we're going to get something for Bernardo. We won't get 50 million, but even if we get 30, if we get 30 million for Bernardo after this season, and furthermore, not just after this season, but after everything he has done for us, because a lot of people that do for us what Bernardo has done for us, we let go on a free, right? We let so many players go on a free and say, do you know what? We've got everything out of them, so it's fine. Bernardo, if we get 30, 35 million for him and have all those years of service, that's good business. So,
I think 25, 30, I think you're going to get maximum 30 for Bernardo. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's going to be 31 in the summer. So, I think if we get 25, 30 mil, that's obviously straight profit on the books. That we can put that money to good use. But yeah, I still think Kovacic has something to offer as a bit of a squad player. Gundogan, I don't think he's got anything to offer the team in terms of doing something. But as a body, just having a body in the squad, bit of experience, keep him around. He can maybe you got to tell him and say, listen, you can stay, but like the Oscar Bobs of this world who got left at home for the game, that's going to be you next week. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they've got a full squad, you ain't going to be the guy on the bench. It's going to be the younger players, the ones that I need to develop. But like, if we've got a bit of an injury crisis, maybe we've got a dead rubber game in the Champions League, or we've got a home tie against League Two opposition Carabao Cup, then obviously you can. And it's not a disrespectful thing. It's like that is natural. That's the natural way of a career. Well,
that's why I honestly believe he expected that last season, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think, he wasn't expecting a Rodri injury, right?
Yeah.
He knows that Kovacic is 4 years younger than him, right? He knows that Foden, he knows that De Bruyne is younger than him, all of these. So he wasn't coming back to see expecting to play a lot of games. I do think another reason why to keep him there, because look, it looks like Bernardo's going now. Looks like Kev's going. That's two experienced midfielders going, yeah? I think you keep Gundogan just for that experience in the dressing room. And by the way, in the dressing room. And maybe, you know what? If we need to close a game off for the last 10 minutes here and there, yeah. But you can't be a starter no more. I'm not mad at the Gundogan staying at all. It's but I think really and truly the Bernardo one as well is, again, if Bernardo stays, then we all worry that next season Pep will keep just going, I can rely on Bernardo and going back to him.
If you think about this as well, look at all the wages that we've reduced. Walker, 200 grand a week, gone in the summer. Yeah. Grealish, 300. That's a $500,000. Kevin De Bruyne
goes, that is.
Grealish will go. That's $500,000.
What do you reckon?
Spurs. Kevin De Bruyne.
Spurs.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne, 400. That's 900. Yeah, Bernardo, 300. That's 1.2 million pounds just from them four players that you have reduced the wage bill. Now, of course, we signed Marmouche. He's on 250, whatever. So you're down to under, just under $1 million. You got Nico, he'll probably have on 150, about what, 825, something like that. So, you probably reduce the wage bill by about £700,000.
Yeah.
So that gives you a lot of playing room. Yeah. A lot of room there to get these new players in, like the Wirtzes, like your all-rounder midfielder, like your new goalkeeper, your right back, your left back. It gives us a lot of room there. So, they're obviously, and then of course, maybe not this year, maybe not in the next, but maybe next year, John Stones will probably leave. He's on 250 bags. So that's another 250. You're not going to be buying a centre back at 250k a week. So you're saving money there. So actually, what you're going to see is what we've got now. We've got a load of players who have been brilliant, the best in the world. And that's why we won 4 league titles in a row. That's why we won the treble. And rightfully, they was all on mad money. Unfortunately, their performances have declined quicker than their contracts have come to an end.
Yeah.
What we're going to see over the next 18 months, and people are right to say that it's not just going to all happen this summer, it's going to happen next summer as well. But over the next 2 transfer windows, you're going to see those wages reduce, but you're going to see the quality of the players go up.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win. So when the club's going to be saving money and we're going to be having better players. And then obviously, hopefully, the players brings us success. You then give them new contracts. You put them on top cash, man. But that's how it works, man. And, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Gibbs-White, mate. What are you saying a little bit more on Gibbs-White? I seen him play like, did you watch it last night?
Yeah.
He doesn't like a City player off that performance, does he?
Well, right. So I know you chat with Wolfie, yeah? And obviously I chat with Wolfie. And Wolfie and I on Sunday had a conversation. He was saying, mate, I'd take 65 million for him. I'm really not a fan. Like, it's not all that. And I go, but we wouldn't be taking him in the 10 role. And he goes, And he goes, for us, yeah, when he's played in a deeper role, he's looked better. But I have also found out off of someone, Hold Tight Dash, yeah, one of our mods, who sent me a clip of Wolfie. Wolfie has admitted on streams, yeah, that he is downplaying Morgan Gibbs-White to all City content creators, yeah.
No way. Get me the clip.
I'll send you it. I'll send you it afterwards, bro. He said, don't worry. And I've voice noted him saying, is it Wolfie? And he was like, nah, I have to say that on my channel because obviously otherwise all the Forest fans will come for me, yeah? But I'll be honest, Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10 role, I'm not on it. Not one bit, yeah? That one shot he had, yeah, was... Well, we had one actually quite good shot from outside the box, but...
Yeah.
I think we have to understand it probably is going to happen.
Yeah. I think it is.
The English quota thing is definitely a thing. I've heard he's already been spotted looking at houses round Manchester.
Yeah, that's the rumours. I listened to 9320. Them guys were saying that apparently they've been told off a very good source that he's been house hunting. Apparently he's always up in Manchester. Obviously, he's good mates with Phil Foden.
When did they say that?
I think it was this week or last week.
Right, okay, cool. If it was early last week, then...
I think it was last week. I'm sure it was last week.
Okay.
Why?
I'll tell you off air. But that might not be true then. Anyway, I'll tell you off air on that, though. I don't want him in the 10. Stinks in the 10. In the 8, he's got an engine. I don't think he's worth the value that we're going to end up paying for him. But, when you just... He's probably is the engine that we need. I think someone just called him a minute ago, yeah? I think someone just said... pretty certain somebody said, right, that he's like a B-Tech Bruno Guimaraes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would take Bruno Guimaraes over this guy every single day of the week.
Yeah, and furthermore, let's say we end up paying 80 million for Gibbs-White. I would have happily put an extra 20 million on it and got Bruno Guimaraes last summer as well over it.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm sort of like struggling.
But I don't know. It's one of them ones where I'm not blown away with him remotely. In the 10 role, I'd be kicking up an absolute stink. If we were getting him in the 10 role, yeah, I would be kicking off massively. If the plan is to use him in a more of an 8 role, all right, I'll accept it, but with a bit of caution that maybe, I'm not saying it's the same as Calvin Phillips, but...
Nah. He's not even in the same breath as Calvin Phillips. I was fucking gutted when we signed that guy, yeah.
So was I.
Like, I had to do this thing like on stream. I was like, oh yeah, like he might be all right, innit? He might get, but I did not rate him at all. Yeah, at all. I remember I was interviewed for a series that was coming out, and they asked me about Phillips like, as a City fan, and they was obviously expecting me to be like, oh yeah, buzzing. I was just like, I don't rate this guy at all.
He didn't. Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, as I said, I just don't rate him. They're like, oh, why? I was like, I think he's horrific. I think he's extremely slow. I think he can only play in a two-man midfield. I think if he plays on his own, he'll be absolutely horrific because he's too slow. I think Henderson, I think he played next to in the Euros. I thought, like, basically covered all the ground. I said, listen, the guy's got a ping on him. I give him that. You know what I mean? Put the ball at his feet. He'll whack it 60 yards on your toes. But other than that, nah. It's safe to say it didn't make the final cut of the series.
But that's where I was, right? I remember when we signed him, and I was proper not convinced with it. I just kept saying it stinks of Jack Rodwell, right? It stinks of Jack Rodwell, yeah, one of them type of signings. And I kind of got not convinced, but I got my arm twisted into accepting him, right? By someone saying that. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Steve, you know. It might have been Steve saying to me, yeah, but just think, he can ping those balls. Because remember, we signed him the summer we signed Haaland, right? And saying he can just ping those long balls over the top to Haaland, right? And I was like, as a plan B, yeah, maybe. But it was a bit
more to your game than that, though. You got because basically
100%.
If when you sign a player, if you can only think of one thing that they can do, unless that one thing is scoring goals, what happens if that doesn't happen? Then you're screwed, mate.
Do you know what my biggest worry was, right? And this goes back to the Rodwells and it goes back to other signings we've made and got it wrong on, is if you are a DM, right, and you are coming to Manchester City, while Manchester City have Rodri, and you're of a certain age. Now, if you're 18 years old, then fair enough. You know what? You come in there to maybe play second fiddle, learn from him. But if you're of a certain age and you're coming knowing there is a player that is the best in the world in that position ahead of you, I question your mentality. And for me, like Pep did it with Sancho, not Sancho, Sanchez from Arsenal. The minute he was saying he wanted to come City, because he wanted to win things, like. And then the minute United came in and offered him more money, Pep said, all right, well, his mentality ain't right because he's not going somewhere to win stuff. He's going for money. Same thing I felt with Phillips. Like, you're coming here just to get money and sit on the bench because there's no way you think you are better than Rodri, right? There's no way you think you're going to dethrone Rodri in this group team. So I had that feeling. And Gibbs-White, I think Gibbs-White has probably been told he's going to be the engine in the middle of the park.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But we have to have
So basically, like, I would have liked better. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, I'm over the moon. Like, I would have liked a better player than Gibbs-White. I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm not so down on it that I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, with that.
But you would be if you heard he was a 10, right?
If he was the 10, I'd be like, yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah. Do you
know what I mean? But I think he's for the 8. Yeah, let's see how he gets on. But obviously, we got Nico Gonzalez who can play in the 8 as well. Yeah, not seen him play the 8 yet, Nico G, because he's been playing the 6. So let's see how he gets on. Do you know what I mean? But we're building a squad of players. You know what I mean? Where we can actually look at them. So, do play Gibbs-White in the 8? Do play Nico G in the 8?
Which is what we need to do, right? We have to do that.
Exactly. We don't have a squad of players right now, and that's what's going to happen. So let me come to some of these chats, man. Shout out to Echo Falls. Says, of course, Dortmund's Klopp doesn't want Wirtz at Bayern. Says Echo Falls, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Perfect Soul. Says, rumoured KDB wants to stay in the Champions League until 2026 World Cup. Yeah, probably does, because obviously he wants to stay in peak physical condition. Yeah, the question is where? Is he going to stay in England? I don't know. We'll see, innit? You know what I mean? His family's settled. Will he stay in England? Will he go to Liverpool?
I don't think he would. But I swear he wants America.
If the theory about the money thing is true, unless he's prepared to accept a 1-year contract, he's not staying in England. Would Liverpool give Kevin De Bruyne a 1-year contract on 400 grand a week?
No, I don't think so.
I reckon. No, I reckon if Van Dijk and Salah went to slot on the board and said, listen,
they are pals with him, aren't they?
Save 50 million until next year and go and get De Bruyne on 400 grand a week on a free transfer.
Nah, Bo, do you know what? Because if you think they've just offered Salah a massive a new contract, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? And remember, this is not our board. This is Liverpool's board. They've just offered Salah a new contract that will be shitloads, yeah? They've just offered Van Dijk a new contract that will be shitloads, yeah? They've still got to get Kanate contracted because his contract's up next summer. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They still need to bring in, like, realistically, although they've got those players, they do need to go and find replacements. I don't think Liverpool ain't got the funds to do that. They might have the money, but their board would not go and splash out 400k a week.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And do you know what? I'll be honest with you, from KDB's point of view, and this is right, if City really, 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 really didn't say anything to him and then just, by the way, you're leaving, yeah. Then maybe otherwise. But you and I are of the agreement that we don't think that's how City managed it. If City have managed it better than that, I would hope that KDB doesn't go to Liverpool because it is a bit of a tarnish on his legacy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, defo. Yeah, you have to.
What about Newcastle though? So Newcastle is one that would interest me. They might.
Yeah, maybe because they could do with another midfielder. They've got the 3 beasts, but obviously rotation-wise, yeah,
rotation.
Maybe. Yeah, and obviously it would help. It would bring that experience,
mentality. Come in there and maybe.
Yeah,
who knows? Oh, maybe Saudi investment funds, the lot that own Newcastle. Maybe they say, "Yeah, little deal, go to Newcastle."
Come Saudi after
season, and then out to Saudi for the season after. 2-year deal.
If I was Kev, I'd just go Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Bo, he can't though. Look at his his skin tone and his hair colour's not built for Saudi.
Yeah, well, they do factor 70 now, isn't it?
Well, they do factor 100. When we were in Dubai, my mum was trying to get some for my daughter. Factor 100, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Nah, I'd go get the bag if I was him. I'd go get the bag. Do 2-3 years in Saudi Arabia. Secure about 100 million quid, tax-free. Sound. See you later. Never work.
Yeah, I hear it. I'd do that as well, to be fair. But
go MLS.
Yeah, which is what I heard. That's where. See,
there's no way about China no more. You remember when they 5 years?
Nah. I don't think that happens no more. Do you know he's still there though? Oscar.
China dead yet? Oscar's still there.
Still there.
Oscar. Yeah.
Do you know what I would? I'm surprised a little bit. Yeah, that New York City haven't been linked with him. That would, for me, that would have been the perfect thing. Yeah, City Football Group, keep him within City. Send him New York as the staple because they've got the new stadium coming kind of soonish. Send him over there. Keep him within City Football Group. But
Oscar's left China.
Is he left there now?
He left this winter. He's gone back to Brazil. Check these numbers, bro. 142 assists, 77 goals in 248 games.
Well, you know what? Remember the Olympics? It was Neymar and Oscar were the two golden boys, weren't they?
Yeah.
But he went over. Everyone went China, but he stayed there. He was having a good time over there.
You know what? You know what I liked about Oscar compared to the frauds like Henderson and that. Yeah. You know what I liked about Oscar? The guy just owned it, man.
Yeah.
The guy owned it.
Saying, bro.
The guy didn't go there and do no sort of like bullshit and say, "Oh, I'm going to go there and try and change the human rights," or "I'm going to try and go there and like raise awareness about how." No, he just went there and went,
"Yeah,
I've come for the cash. I don't give a shit about trophies. I don't care about Brazil. I've come to secure generational." What are they over melts who go like Saudi Arabia and that and pretend like they're going to change the fucking regime in Saudi Arabia? Like, get out of here, man. Henderson, mate, is the biggest fucking waffler.
No, I can't stand him.
Honestly, man, get out of here, innit? You went for the money. Don't say that you went to change the things. You went for the money. Own it, and I respect you. But if you go there and tell me that you're going to do all this BS when you're actually not going to do that, yeah, then what are you doing, innit?
Yeah, facts. Big facts.
weapons. Yeah, shout out Oscar, man. You know what I mean? Just be honest with it, innit?
Yeah. Do you know what? I met this. I don't know if I said to you on Friday or not, but I met this while I was in Dubai. I met in this aftershave shop. I met this Egyptian guy, right? And he was like, "Oh, Marmoush, we love him." And he was saying to me that they prefer Marmoush to Salah, right? Because Salah changed, yeah. And they said, like, Salah came to England. They said Salah was from a poor village, right? But he's changed as a human being. They said, whereas Marmoush apparently, yeah, Marmoush has always been rich, right?
Oh,
and they were like, Marmoush doesn't try and be anything he isn't. He just owns what he is. And they were like, we want Marmoush to do well. So, yeah, bro, don't realise, big fan base over there as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah. I've never been.
By the way, actually, that's brought me to. Sorry, are there any more super chats?
Yeah. Big up to Mr. Perfect Soul says we should still. You know what? I like Bergval. I do like Bergval.
I don't.
You don't like him?
Bergval, yes, I do. I don't like Bentancur. Yeah, I like Bergval.
No, Bentancur. Nah, I like Bergval, man. I think Bergval's a good player. The way he reminds me of a young Kovacic. The way he carries the ball forward.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a young Kovacic, man. But yeah, good player, man. Good player. I do rate him. I can't lie. Shame he's at Spurs. We ruined his career. I have to admit, Pepper's lost it if we sign him for more than £60 million. Why must it be him? Says Chicken Wing. Well, first of all, it's not Pep.
It's not Pep.
It's Hugo Diana and what's he called? Tiki. So it's not Pep. But why must it be him? I don't know. They've obviously targeted him. I think he's the guy to reject energy and life into our midfield.
I think
we have to wait and see if that works out.
The one thing, yeah, I would say is that to us picking, doing a rebuild to us is a bit like FIFA, yeah, where we don't have to consider as much, right? Whereas with like a football club and with City at the moment, yeah, there's so many moving parts to our rebuild, right? Firstly, player wages, yeah. Secondly, fees, and thirdly, that English quota. I know we might not like the English quota, yeah. We might much prefer go and buy, players from Europe, players from elsewhere. But the fact is, there is such a thing in the Premier League as an English quota, right? And we must hit it. Now, let me give you an example of, because I would imagine there's quite a few people that really like Wharton, right?
I don't, but go on.
Right. So there will be people here that probably rate Wharton more than Morgan Gibbs-White, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
If we are being honest, yeah, Adam Wharton has not done enough to warrant being seen higher than Morgan Gibbs-White, right? Because
I agree.
He's playing at Crystal Palace, yeah?
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs-White is playing at a team that are currently fighting out with us lot for Champions League football. And I would probably say Morgan Gibbs-White is quite an important player for that team.
That's fair.
So I'm not saying, by the way, that in an ideal world we would get Morgan Gibbs-White, but that English quota is a thing. And
I'd
when you
rather
go
Gibbs-White than Wharton, put it that way.
Yeah, 100%. But the reason why I mentioned Wharton and maybe not other players is because I'm talking English quota. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I do. I'd rather go and get Livramento from.
But bro, be realistic. We ain't getting Livramento.
Really?
You think, bro? I agree with you. By the way,
on their head tops. You not reckon they say yeah?
How much?
70 mil.
I don't think they would. You know.
I'd rather have Olaraina. You go get him for 15, 20 million. Right back. Yeah, maybe not a starter, maybe a bit of a rotation. He's English. He's homegrown. And then go and get me Bruno G or get me someone better in the middle. That's what I do.
Get Bruno G.
I know. Go and get me the Sijani Reinders then, innit?
Yeah, maybe. And this is where I mean about the moving parts, that we don't know everyone that they're targeting yet. We're only being fed certain bits of information, but that English quota thing is a thing, because we're both presuming Grealish is going to go. We think that we would probably say either Ake or Stones, one of them might go.
I don't think either of them go.
You think they both stay?
I think they both stay. Yeah, I think they all stay. I think the centre back, the new centre back signing is actually Gavadio, and we sign a left back.
Well, we've also gone and got Kuzanov and flipping Kuzanov and Vitor Hayes.
You sign a right back and you sign a left back and you put Gavadio at centre back. You don't need a centre back. You've got enough.
Yeah, well, we've got right. That would then mean that we have, because I don't think we need a centre back. I don't want another centre back here. We've got Diaz, Stones, Ake, Akanji, Vardiol, Vitor Hayes, Kuzanov.
I think Hayes gets loaned out.
Okay. And unfortunately, that probably means that we don't bring back Juma Bar as well.
I think Juma Bar gets another loan though. I think them two get another loan. And then next summer, Stones will leave, and then you decide.
Right, then we bring one of them back.
Yeah, they're good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And
that's
then
fair.
basically situations. Yeah. Your left back will be your new left back. Probably can be Asso. Yeah. Your backup left backs are Gavadio and Ake. So you got 3 players that can play left back. Right back, you sign a right back. Your backup right backs would be Akanji. It would be Nunes, because I think Nunes sticks around, and I think Rico Lewis sticks around.
And O'Reilly.
Yeah, well, I know Riley, to see what happens with him. And then centre-backs, Diaz, Gavadio, Stones, Akanji, Ake, Kuzanov. That is more than enough, then. You're fine.
I don't think
if anyone says that's too much, if Ake or Stones have a problem with it, you sit them down and you say, with all due respect, we've got to have this many players because you two can't stay fit, mate.
Yeah, 100%. They don't have a leg to stand on moaning at the moment.
They start moaning about game time. The reason we have got to have about 15 defenders is because of them two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that. But I think that's more than enough. More than enough. And what you're doing there, you're going from a defence which going into this season had 7 players in it. Yeah, which was just shocking, really. To a team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it 9? Is it 9 players you would have?
Yeah.
So even if Ake and Stones get injured at the same time, which they probably will be, you'll still have 7. You'll still have 7 players available. So you should be able to avoid an injury crisis there. You know what I mean? So I think that's the way we play it. And then next summer, you let Stones leave. He'll be 33, I think, or 32. Will be out of contract. You let him leave. That's 250 grand off the books. You then look at Vitor Hayes. You look at Juma Bar, both of whom have been on loan, and you go, right, are either you ready to step into that to these shoes? If yes, buzzing. If not, you buy someone.
Yeah, fair. You know what? I think you're probably right with the Vitor Hayes in the Juma Bar thing.
Vitor Hayes ain't staying this summer, mate. He'll get loaned out 100%.
Yeah, I think he'll feature a lot in a Club World Cup though. I think he'll.
Yeah, well, I think they'll use him in the Club World Cup to demonstrate his abilities for the
Yeah.
You'll want him to get a good
maybe even Juma Bar as well. Bring them both back. Bring Juma Bar back because bring him back for the summer.
Might just keep Juma Bar at Lens though. I think obviously they must be happy with Lens because they bought Huzanov from there. They then loaned Juma Bar.
Yeah,
back
they must
to
have a
Lens.
Relationship.
They might just say at Lens, do you want Juma Bar again? And I think they rate. You hear a lot of people talk about this French league now. It's getting a bit better or whatever. Maybe they rate it. Maybe just keep him there. Vitor Hayes needs to play for a team that dominates the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Fact. You can see that ball playing ability. Smash these likes up, people, if you've not done so already. What time are you going live, bro?
Whenever you want, mate. After this. So
man. Any other topics? Chat, let us know any other topics in if you want.
Villa. Marmouche.
Marmouche.
Yeah, bro. Do you know what? Home game. Marmouche cooks tonight, I think.
What's his record in home games, Marmouche?
Home games, he's been pretty good at home, I think.
Right, Premier League record, Marmouche, home games. Let's have a look. This website's so slow at times. It's unbelievable.
Have you seen that stat as well? That Marmouche, even though he left the Bundesliga in January, he's still second for goals and assists.
For City?
Yeah. No. In just the Bundesliga. So he left the Bundesliga in January, so everyone else that's in the Bundesliga has had an extra 3 months on him, and still the only person that's got more goals and assists than him is Harry Kane.
Yeah, wow, that's insane. Yeah, Marmouche so far this season, home games for Manchester City in the Premier League. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 GA. 7 GA in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Not bad, is it?
No, not bad at all. I think he seems to be a player that thrives at home. So
he's already our joint third highest goal scorer. Now, what are you talking about?
What a season. Yeah. Well,
you know it's a fucking bad season, right? When James McAtee, who's played 800 minutes, Kovacic, and Marmoush, who we signed in January, are our joint third highest goal scorers.
Well, do you know what? Yeah.
No bueno, guys.
It still is like this is where this Champions League fight is so weird, yeah, that we shouldn't really be in this, right? If you take that, we shouldn't be in this, right? If it wasn't for the fact,
dead, bro, we should not be in a title, a Champions League race. No
and
way.
If you look at three of the teams, right? Firstly, if you go back to what around the time we were shit, yeah, we were ultimately, you would be looking at the league going, do you know what? Forget that. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea are getting top three, so we're fighting it out with the other teams, right? But then Chelsea decided to fuck things up, and then Forest took their place, and it was, do you know what? We'll leave Chelsea. We'll leave Forest, we'll leave Arsenal, we'll leave Liverpool. Them three for the top three, and we'll fight for fourth and fifth. Then Forest have dropped off, and we've gone, do you know what? We'll leave Newcastle up there. And the fact that all of them just keep is if we get top. I mean, look, if we end up getting Champions League football, then fair play, we've fought to get it. But we've been helped out a lot by the other teams.
But do you know mad stat? Someone, I think this guy called Sam in the chat, sent me a message the other day and said, LB, if you look at our second half of the season, Premier League games only, average out the points per game out of the games we played in the second half of the season, and then put that for the full season, 88 points average it is.
Well, but I've said this, LB. The problem we've had this back end of the season, is that, like, if you look at the games that we've so since we've made the signings in January, we've lost to Real Madrid home and away, right?
Yeah.
But that's Real Madrid. We've lost to Arsenal. We've lost to Liverpool. We've lost to Forest. And we've drawn with Brighton.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Right.
We've only lost against teams above us.
Yeah. We've lost to Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, and then we've drawn to Brighton. Yeah. So actually, but the problem is that the way it fell is like, we'll win 2 games, then one of them will happen. Win 2 games, then one of... We've gone on no sort of run whatsoever. So we've never really got that momentum going. And now maybe we do, but we've just got to hope Villa's away form's a lot worse than their home form, innit? So are you nervous tonight?
I think we'll get beat.
Or you think we lose?
Yeah, I'm not feeling particularly confident.
Cheers, mate. You're making me more.
Yeah. However, there are a couple of things that are giving me some confidence. One, I think Pep will set up the same way he did against Everton and United. And be pretty defensive and solid, which might mean we might get a draw, which I think is not a bad result. And the last time I went to a game thinking he was going to get absolutely panned was Newcastle, and we won 4-0.
Yeah, I hear it. Are you going tonight?
No, I'm doing a watch along.
All right.
But this is the thing. I'm like, I'm not confident. You know what I mean? These guys just slapped up Newcastle. However, they're also coming off the back of a very, very busy week. A very, very busy week. You know, they've had a PSG that was a mad game, and then obviously Newcastle. So a big week. So we've got a chance. I'm not confident, but like I say to you before, if you offered me a point now, I shake your hand. Give me a point, win the next 2 games. I think that's pretty much done and dusted then. Yeah,
I wouldn't disagree with you. We get 3 points tonight. I can start breathing a bit more regularly because
we should be beating Wolves at home and Southampton away. That puts us 65 points with 2 games to go. That should be Champions League in the bag then.
Yeah.
Unless you fucking somehow balls it up against Wolves or Southampton. Yeah, I mean, which I don't think we'll do.
We seem to, you know what, Touchwood, at the moment, we seem to be... We're certainly not getting back to City second half of the season form, but we are seeming to get things done over the last couple of weeks.
Across the line, aren't we? Yeah. And more importantly, our defence is a lot better than it was. And if you noticed as well, haven't the bozo errors reduced massively?
Yeah,
We don't really see too many bozo errors in the games nowadays. You know what I mean? We can see goals like shit defending, but they're not like bozo. We're not just passing the ball to the opposition and say, "Yeah, go score a goal."
Even the 2 goals in Palace. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they weren't really from bozo moments. They were just we got caught out, right?
Yeah, like poor defending, but it's not an error as in like a fucking Arsenal where Akanji just gives them the ball. It's not United where Nunes just passed Diallo the ball. It's like we're just conceding goals. Maybe we could be a little bit better defensively, but like we're not just gifting teams goals anymore.
Nah, but the way I'd see it is right. Is that I always said this. You watch the confidence go. So when we started losing games, you still had some players that were still looking a bit more confident. And it's a bit like anyone that's played Football Manager. Sorry to compare it to Football Manager, but you watch players' confidence go down and down and down. And we got to a point where our confidence was so low throughout the whole squad that then breeds mistakes, yeah? And if you think for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, we've just been probably most of the squad at a excellent confidence level. We now have to get back to there. You get back the minute you start building some confidence, you get a bit more. Then you get a bit more. You have to, and it's going to take some time to get us back firing with full confidence. But the first thing as you get confidence, you get rid of is the bozo moments. Because they happen when your confidence is gone. That's when you're just making stupid like Nunes mistakes against Man United.
The confidence is slowly returned. You know what I mean? And that's probably why the bozo errors have gone. Which by the way, that's one of the reasons why I won't be rushing Akanji back in, because he's been pretty bad this year in terms of bozo errors. So probably just keep him out of the team for a little bit. That's why I wouldn't change the back 4. I really would not change this back 4. I really wouldn't. Let me.
I would. I mean, to be fair, the only thing you would say is Rico and Nunes seem to be able to rotate and do a similar-ish type job. So
yeah, but Nunes is more physical.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
So I'd rather have Nunes. Maybe when you're playing Southampton away, and you're going to probably dominate the ball because they're shy. Yeah. Then maybe you might want Rico Lewis to sort of like a little bit better on the ball going forward or whatever. But it depends if you want someone to push forward and give you a bit of a winger option. Like we got the assist for the Nico O'Reilly goal.
Yeah.
How good was that movement, by the way, bro? That Nico O'Reilly finish against Everton. Unbelievable, wasn't it?
Attacking midfielder movement, innit?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Get to that to watch everyone else and then make that run to the front post.
Yeah.
This is where I think it does work with him being a left back, because when we saw him in the summer as a DM, he's not really allowed to advance too much or as much. Whereas we've kind of seen with Vardiol this season even, and last season, and Ake the season before, when you're playing as a left back for Pep, you seem to be able to get into those positions. So I can see why it does suit him a little bit.
Nah, facts. Built Chicken Wings says Villa have a bad record at Etihad. They always lose no matter how good their form is. Jinx says Chicken Wing. Yeah, but I jinxed it by saying we're going to lose. So that means we're going to draw. And again, draw's not the worst result in the world. I hate it when I said that. I put a tweet out last night. Yeah, I said, "Oh yeah, take a draw." Why you take a draw? Why you don't want to win the game? No. I didn't say I didn't want to win the game. You said you wanted a draw. No, I didn't. I said I'd take a draw. If you offer me a draw right now, I'll take it, because that pretty much for me secures top 4 because of the 2 games that got coming up. These are standards. Standards are in the mud. The standards aren't in the mud. The standards are not in the mud. The standards are being realistic. Yeah. The standards are we can't win the league. Our objective now is to get Champions League football, whether that's 5th, 4th, 3rd, or 2nd. It makes zero difference by a couple of £1 million in spending money. Yeah. Get top 4, man. That's the aim. And if you win, if you get a draw, you got Wolves and Southampton coming up. That should be back-to-back wins. Job done.
Yeah.
Job done.
Facts.
Don't tell me that I've lowered my standards just because I'm saying I'll take a draw against Villa when we've got 2 games coming up. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? Shout out Chicken Wing, man. Big up to Noel, says top 4 chances if we draw Villa. Well, if we do that, then 100%. If we draw against Villa and win the rest of the games, 100% chance of getting Champions League. Because we're already in that position, bro. Yeah. But big up to you, bro. And big up to Sign Silver with 19 months, says just don't lose. That's all I ask for. I'm the same, man. I'm the same.
I'm the same. I'm the same. Yeah. You look at the lineup and we draw this and then we win all our games. We do get Champions League football.
Yeah, exactly. Facts. Factual information. All right, man. Yeah, I'll redirect over to.
Can I just say one thing real quick? And the reason why I need to say it on this channel is because I probably need to say it on any City channel just to put it out there. As something came to my attention yesterday, on Steve's channel, some people in the comments were talking about, don't watch We Are the South Stand, and saying, Steve, you're not going to grow We Are the South Stand if you're blocking everyone that has a different opinion to you, right? And Steve mentioned it to me, so I went into the back end, and yeah, well, I saw like nearly 300 people blocked, keywords in there. As a moderator has clearly had a bit of a power trip. So anyone that ever was following We Are the South Stand and seemed to find yourself blocked, you will have been unblocked now. The only people that are blocked from We Are the South Stand are CFC Don, which is a fake account, and Saeed's wrinkly bald head, which is a fake account. Yeah, everyone else has been unblocked. And to be clear, mine and Steve's stance is we want people on our channel to disagree with us because we don't know everything, and ultimately, without people disagreeing, there is no football YouTube. So if there is anyone here that used to watch us and found yourself blocked, please know you're not. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
Where's the clip, man? I need the clip.
I'll send it to you afterwards. I'll send it to you. I promise you. I need to clip it up. It's 1 minute 20 of a show where he's talking about Morgan Gibbs-White City.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But listen, he's got minions everywhere. See how his ears are burning. Someone's gone to him and said they're talking about you, Wolfie.
Yeah, all right. I need the clip. I'll see the clip.
I'll send it over. And yeah, we've got a show now on We Are the South Stand. Myself, Martin, Tone, and we've got Josh from Villa from the stands on. And he's a very confident Villa fan, so let's see what he's got to say. And appreciate you having me on as always.
Nah, big up, man. Guys, make sure you smash a like on the stream, man. Come on, 700 people in the building. We're not even at 300 likes. Come on, man. We're not even at 40% ratio. So smash that like button, man. Come on, 250 likes right now. We need 50 people out of 700 to smash the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'll be back later on, yeah, at 7 o'clock for the watch along. So make sure you join me for that one. It's a big one. It is a big one. We need to avoid defeat at all costs, really. So, yeah, make sure you join me later at 7 o'clock for the team match, the team starting 11 reaction. And obviously, we've got the watch along, man. So, yeah, smash the likes. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.